Welcome in, everyone. Welcome to Pastime Picks Podcast. I'm Keith, Vintage Sport Flips.
And I'm Andrew, King of Pennants.
There's the names, Andy.
No way, Andy, Andrew, whatever.
Yeah, same.
Whatever takes me.
Yeah. So, guys, this week we're going to draft our favorite pop culture dogs. We've been alternating sports topic, non-sports topic. So we're on to the non-sports this week. And we're both dog lovers, so this should be a fun one.
Yeah, in honor, I see that you're wearing a special sweatshirt today.
Little Spuds McKenzie action going on there.
Well, Spuds, and I'm wearing my soon to be. She's in the mix to be a therapy dog, so she's
awesome.
Hopefully,
very cool.
BD's here for this one.
My dogs are therapy dogs too, for me. Not professional therapy dogs.
Your dogs push people into therapy, I think.
No, not me. They're very therapeutic. What's up, BD? How's it going, BD? This is gonna be a good one. So yeah, we're gonna do pop culture dogs this week, and then next week we're gonna do back to sports. We're gonna do draft our all-time baseball starting nines, including pitcher. So that'll be a fun one too. But Andy, I know last week we had some discussion as to how we were going to declare the winner, right? How we're going to declare the winner. So we've been posting it on YouTube and Instagram.
I know this is going to be bad. I know I got crushed.
I posted it on both, but I only said we're going to count YouTube.
Yeah,
I romped you on YouTube, 93% to 7%. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I think I just was looking at things a little differently. I think people didn't get my vibes, which I get. It's fine.
They didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You have Jordan and LeBron. Yeah. You're probably in pretty good shape, but I don't know. I went with the team that would win. I think it would beat your team.
I don't know. I think that was the premise. I don't know. I don't know.
I know it was. I don't know.
I think you snuck it out on Instagram. I believe. I never checked exactly at the 24-hour mark, but. We weren't counting that, as you said.
Really not. Hey, Dan, how's it going?
Welcome in, Dan. Yeah, Andy, I don't know if you checked their podcast out. Funny as hell today on the Pocket Change podcast over there.
I did not. But
everything from Dan crying over crotchless jeans to Dan checking out people's calves in dressing rooms. Right? It had it all. So definitely, people in the chat or on the replay, definitely check out the Pocket Change podcast. It had it all today.
Ooh, I don't know. This is it's getting into some interesting territory.
Yeah, I know. He was saying when he bought a pair of jeans at a thrift shop or something, and he was photographing them. Didn't really look at them closely, and he realized that there was like a big tear in the crotch.
Oof.
So
that's not good.
That happens to me too. Not necessarily with holes in the crotch, but with I'll buy a vintage hat and I get it home and the brim is like totally snapped.
So the real question is, Dan, do you know how that happened? There could be a story behind the jeans, So
there's definitely a story behind the jeans. So we as we said, I won last week, so that brings the overall record to 4-2-4 for me, 2-4-4 for Andy. So two game lead on you, Andy. So that's get the lead there, and get over here. Let me figure out who drafts first. And by the way, while we're figuring out who drafts first, we do have a couple guests coming up on the podcast. One is Dan in Demand in the chat here. He's going to be our guest on, March 6th, I think, right? Wednesday, March 6th. So 2 weeks. Then the week after that, we have Go Snow in as well on the, the 13th, I believe.
Looking forward to that.
So we got
what are we doing in Dan's podcast?
We're doing the best comedy movies. Best comedy movies.
All right.
That's a lot of discussion there. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. And Dan's an excellent drafter. If you haven't watched him on the Reseller Monday night draft, very good drafter over there.
And Dan, I don't know that you can use your own podcast in this. It's not technically a movie, so even though Keith probably would put you number one on his list.
Oh, it's funny, man. I try to get a lot of work done when I'm watching podcasts. I watch them all, and it's hard to get some work done when you're like cracking up. You need to. It needs like some dull podcasts at times to get a lot of work done.
That's what we're here for.
Come on now. Come on. That's not our role.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
All right. No. All right. Let me get to the wheel of names so you can pick first here.
All right. I'm feeling good this week. Feeling good. I think I took this one pretty seriously, and I think you're going to be in trouble.
I don't know. It's not the way it's gone lately. All right, I'm going to spin it. Let's see here.
All right.
It ends the streak. I think I had 3 in a row. I believe. I forget exactly.
Yeah. Now, do you have any interest in trading, or you want to stay put?
I'll stay put.
Okay. All right. Just throwing it out there.
No, I appreciate the offer.
Okay. Well, I think there's a clear number one here. I'm up and down my list. I think I got a good thing going. I have a good plan of how I'm going to take this week. But I think overall pick, I think it's the best, like, sort of made up dog. I don't know. What are we talking? I forget what we actually said.
Pop culture dog. Pop
culture fictional dog.
Could be a real dog. Could be a fictional dog.
Right.
Dog.
But okay. So my number one is going to be Scooby-Doo. That's got to be number one. I think he's a Great Dane. He's been in. He talks. There's that faction of dogs that talk that don't talk. Like, I don't know what we're gonna, which is always an interesting thing. But yeah, Scooby-Doo has got to. It was kind of the picture that we had on the thing going up too. So yeah, I feel like that's a number one that you have to go with. I think that's a
consensus number one. I would bet it for most people. Yeah,
I think there's a pretty good number two as well, but he's number one in my book. Yeah, for sure.
Don't be saying that, and then I'm not going to pick that. And then you're like, you didn't take the clear number two.
Yeah, right. Well,
don't tease it like that.
That's how I.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo is definitely number. I would have taken Scooby number one. It's still a pretty entertaining show. My son, I haven't seen him watch it recently, but I've watched a lot with him, and played all the games with him. PlayStation 2, we played a lot of Scooby-Doo games.
I didn't even know there were Scooby-Doo games.
Yeah. We weren't playing that back in the day. I was beating you on like NHL games and NBA Live. I was dominating you in those games, but there was Scooby-Doo too.
Mark, you're right. My apologies. I did not. I do have an acronym. This is a bit of a contentious thing with Keith and I.
No, not contentious. I like the acronyms.
Okay. All right. So my thought process. First of all, this falls right into Scooby-Doo, but it's the way I'm picking tonight, and it's going to be best in acting, trustworthiness, comedy, or hero. So it's really one of those things, one of those categories, or the biatch score. That's my score.
Yeah. Just for clarity's sake, I made him add an A to that.
Yeah, I know. Acting wasn't in there.
I forced the A in there, so we had to squeeze in. It's like, what can I come with? Come
acting.
After the
A?
Yeah. So, that works. Biatch is a little softer than the other acronym you were going to roll out there.
Well, I thought it was fitting because of the dog.
Yeah, it was all right.
Come on, Keith. It's not. First of all, it's it's a real word.
It is. Yeah, especially a dog word in the dog world.
Exactly.
Before I get to my pick, so guys, we're gonna do another giveaway in the sales of the week segment coming up soon, and you're gonna get the winner. You get to choose between these three lots, 3 items. Get the dead stock Chicago Bulls pennant. You got the wax pack bundle, which I'll show in detail later, and then a 1914 B18 Roger Peckinpah tobacco felt.
Roger
Peckinpah. And actually, how timely is that? We got a paw in there.
Yeah, there you go.
Paw action.
Impressive.
It's not spelled. It's spelled P-A-U-G-H. But
my other thought about this is when I was at the gym today was I was going to see how many puns I could throw in that were dog related.
Yeah.
And, but we'll see. Maybe I'll throw a few of them in there.
Work them out.
Yeah.
Work on it. All right. So I don't know if this is the clear number 2 that you were teasing a little earlier, but I spent a lot of time with my grandmother's house growing up, and I watched a lot of like black and white classic TV shows with her. Okay. And she's still alive. She's 102 years old, and animal lover.
Still kicking. She is
still doing well.
Still is like quick as a tack too, if that's a word. I don't even know.
That's sharp as a tack. Sharp as a tack. She might be quick as a tack too. I don't know, but sharp as a tack. But so I watched a lot of those like classic TV shows with her, and I watched like Mr. Ed was one. He's not a dog, but Mr. Ed was one I watched all the time. But the one I remember watching a lot over there was Lassie.
Oh, okay.
Lassie. Yeah, you got the hero, you got the biatch factor with the hero right at the end. Right here, it was always the hero every episode. So you got Lassie, and I even had Schultes later on. Never had a collie. But yeah,
Yep.
so that not the yeah.
Go ahead, sorry. No, I was gonna say there were, I think, probably 3 or 4. I think there's 4 picks that I have that were like my consensus number 4, and in that order depends a little bit, but but yeah, I think that's a great pick. I think Lassie's. I grew up watching part of Lassie too. Like, it was kind of a little annoying. I don't know if you remember it this way. It's like, because his stupid kid keeps getting in trouble all the time and like constantly makes this dog go and save him every time. It's like maybe you just take care of your kid a little better and you don't have to have like a superhero dog.
You need child services over that house, right? Because he's like stuck in wells, stuck in a fence. Right.
Oh, he's being attacked by wolves this time. It's like, come on.
Yeah, that kid was in peril in that household.
Yeah. I don't know how he lived. I don't know how he survived, to be honest.
Yeah,
like, I don't care.
The hero dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he couldn't talk. So it was just, people could always understand him just staring and barking. Right.
Yeah.
So,
it's like, okay. I know. Yeah, I know. He's done it again. Where is he this time?
Yeah.
That's all you do.
Yeah. And I haven't seen Lassie in a long time. I don't know if it holds up, but you're right. There's a lot of, but what's up, Harry? Thanks for watching. But yeah, I'm not as young as I look. Maybe Andy's, I don't know what that meant, but we're a little older. Maybe we look, but I think that's probably a similar time frame as Mayberry, right? As
I was like
Andy Griffith's show. Is that the Andy Griffith's show?
I mean, it's
similar time frame. And actually, my wife, like that Mayberry or Andy Griffith shows on every morning when I wake up. She has like TV on overnight, and it probably at the end of the night it's like King of Queens, Seinfeld, and then for some reason in the morning it's Mayberry. So that's like on in my head a little bit. So all right, yeah. So Lassie, we got Scooby-Doo and Lassie. Nice start to the draft there, I feel.
Yeah. So I would have said, he would have been. He wasn't I don't think he's my clear number 2, but that's what he would have been probably who I would have picked next.
What do you mean next? In your next pick on the wraparound?
Yeah, I would have picked him next round for sure.
Okay. And after this, I think there's a lot more, it's not like a set top 10 in this draft, right? There's a little more
it opens up
this draft. Yeah. Gonna be some sleepers there. All right, let me get to the segment section here.
Sale of the week.
All right. So for people new to the chat or new to the watching on the replay, in this segment, we show each other our sales of the week. We guess each other's selling price. The goal is for us to get within 10% of the selling price. It doesn't happen too often, but it actually happened recently a fair amount.
Happens more often than not with me, but yeah.
Come on. Come on. I nailed it spot on 2 weeks ago, and
you did
paid off on the second one.
You did.
So yeah, and then we encourage the chat to guess as well, and then we have a giveaway on the third item, my second item, for the chat. The person in the chat who gets closest going to win the giveaway, which we'll show that again in a little bit.
These first 2 are just a little primer, just to whet your appetite, get you ready for number 3, where that's the big money prize. So where you can potentially win. I saw what is it some type of weird base cards or something like that.
I'll show it again. The giveaway. So this is the giveaway option.
The mini me cards. That's what
you get the Chicago Bulls pennant choice. You get a choice of one of these things: the Bulls pennant, the wax pack bundle with I'll show them in detail, and then the 1914 tobacco felt. So that's the giveaway options for the winner. So let me get to my item.
You must have like the largest collection of Bozo unopened packs in the world.
I'm running a little bit low, but I do have some.
And by that, I think you are the only one that has them.
No, a couple giveaway winners have them.
It's true.
Right?
It's true. It's tied now.
And I never looked them up. I never comped these Bozo cards out, so they could be.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know.
All right.
Here's my first one. All right. So Andy, this is a 19. Well, let me get the exact year. I'll make sure I'm correct on it. I think it's 1916. And I want to see how you pronounce this school. It's a college football team, but it's Bowdoin. Do you know that school? I think it's in Maine, or it's
BOW what?
Bowdoin.
I would have said it's Bodain.
I think it's Bowdoin. Bowden. But I always wanted to call it Baudouin. I wanted like a little French twang to it. It sounded cooler to me, but I've called it that. I called it that for a while, but I think it is Bowden. But this is an imperial size cabinet photo. So I think it was like 16 inches by 20 inches, large size. Yeah, Bowden. Yep, we were right. Or I was right. And it's the football that the captain's holding in the center is dated 1916.
Okay. Interesting. And you said it's an imperial. So what's the sizing in on this?
16 by 20 on the board. 16 inches by 20 inches. So it's a large photo.
Okay.
Yeah. I would assume the photo itself is probably like 11 by 13, something like that.
Okay.
16. The whole thing is 16 by 20. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I have no clue on these photos, these old photos. I'm clueless on. But I always like to throw my 2 cents in. I'm assuming, maybe I'm wrong, but I would assume that larger photos from that era are probably a little more rare. So I think it's just a little harder to do it.
Yeah. They were usually only made them for the players, right? So they're definitely rare and they are fragile. I mean, this guy was a challenge to ship. I used like 8 priority boxes for this guy. So, but yeah, they're fragile. So they are rarer than the smaller ones for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think you collect necessarily. I don't think it's a collector of Baudin stuff per se. I'm assuming you're a collector of a kind of early football memorabilia, which I'm sure there is a collector's group for that too. I think it might be a little bit higher than what people are saying. I think
Harry at $87.99 and Mark with $119.99.
Okay. Yeah, I think it might be a little more money than that. I think we're going to be over 200. That's what my guess is. So I'm going to say my final guess will be $214.99.
$214.99. All right, let me get to the brand segment here. What's up, Brandon? Welcome in, man.
Hey, Brandon.
And Harry, yeah, that's cool. That's yeah, I love selling those smaller ones with I'm sure it's a high school. But sometimes it's hard to tell exactly what school that is. If you can if there's a photographer mark on it, that definitely helps to sell it, because then you have that local area that might buy it. And like this one, Andy, maybe it's a Bowdoin alumni who's collecting this, right? That's a possibility too.
I get it. Yeah.
Sure. If you're won or lost.
There's a ton of collectors for Baudin stuff per se, but
yeah, there is. Yeah.
We're just completely destroyed. That's all. Destroyed.
That is not a win for you.
I didn't know. I was clueless on this.
No, I know. Yeah. Let me share this.
These photos. Oh, all right.
Yeah. So you were over
I had the $215, right? I had the $15.
Yeah, he was just a century off. But yeah, Mark won that one. Yeah, he's definitely the best at this guessing game. Better than you.
Everybody did better than me that time. So
yeah. And these things are, definitely they're rare, the bigger ones. Now, the bigger ones are, they take up a lot of space. So some people like the smaller cabinets for that reason. And they're fragile. This one's similar size on my wall. That's an Imperial one as well. Yeah,
that's cool. No, that's cool. Yeah. I just guess older photos in general, I would think, but maybe there's enough of them out there that it's not like it's super, super expensive. But
yeah, right. That's why I showed it to you. I don't think we've showed it. I mean, I've showed photos in our memorabilia deep dive, but I never showed one in the sales of the week.
Right. Okay. Let me share here.
And Harry, I guess that could be, even though it's found in Delaware, I wouldn't rule out Norristown High School as a possibility. They were a huge high school, and they still are a big high school. All right. I see Marvin Harrison action there.
Yeah, I figured in honor of the upcoming draft, which is a couple months away, and actually next week I think is the combine.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But Marvin Harrison Jr. is coming out, and so I figured Marvin Harrison Sr. we should also put up there as well. So
where's he penciled in at on the draft? Like the mock?
I mean, probably anywhere from like 2 to 6, 2 to 5. Okay. I would guess. Okay. I think he's maybe not the consensus best receiver, but he's certainly I think it's probably going to go. I think the top 3 of the top 4 or 5 picks will be quarterbacks, I would say. And then I think in between there.
All right, so we got some good guesses. These are very similar where I'm going to be at, but we got 35 from Dan, 29.99 from Mark. That's where I would have thought. It's not as early as some of the other caricature pennants you've sold and you've shown here. Obviously, it's with a good team in that era of that team. If you're going to collect anything Colts, probably the Manning, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne era is probably the place to be in terms of eras. Harry's at 1998. I'm going to be at I'm going to go 32.99 on my guess.
All right.
Oh, thanks, Brandon. I appreciate that, man. Yeah. And we'll dabble in cards a little bit at times, but definitely that's not my specialty, but I appreciate that very much. Yeah, it's always room to learn when you're in the sports category, whether it's cards or memorabilia, to learn about the opposite. Right.
All right. Got some good guesses out there.
Good start.
You snuck it in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it was a low price. It was not a big range there for that in the 30s, right?
It's true.
What we got?
Hold on. 29.
All right. Man, Mark is like on fire at this game.
Actually, what did you say?
I said 32.99.
So you missed. Wait, you missed, right?
I said 30. I think I said 32.99, right? I don't know. Come on, you said I won.
29.99.
I'm doing the math.
You missed by a penny. I'm sorry. My apologies, but Mark killed it.
Yeah, Mark is on fire.
Sammy! White chocolate! Sammy! Raindrops!
Had to do that one. Oh, that was so close. It's a penny. I was thinking it sold for 30, and then I just saw it. So but yeah.
Ridiculous.
Woo, that's too bad. I'm sorry to say. I was really rooting for you on that one.
I don't think you were.
No, I was not.
Yeah, everyone in the sports card genre, definitely check out Brandon's channel, 540 Flips. I've checked his channel out a lot. Does a lot of what's sold videos or talks about reselling, but he specializes in sports cards. And Brandon, we were talking about, we were having some guests coming up, Dan and the Man, Go Snow, but we should talk about maybe doing a future episode too.
Very cool. Yeah, I got some questions about some old cards that I have.
Yeah, absolutely, man. He is the 72 Dolphins of this game. Oh, Andy, the Rushmore show. These are the channel I was telling you about to do the drafting. We're talking about doing a collab with them as well. So they do their top 4 and like the Rushmore.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Different topic, sports,
yeah,
video games, a little bit of everything. Great channel.
Cool, very cool.
All right, so next up we're gonna do the giveaway, Andy. So let me get to I'll show the giveaway again, but so for this, so Mark is the one to beat in this game, right? He's dominant in this pricing game.
He is tough to beat.
So the winners get to choose between a little wax pack bundle. We got Dick Tracy wax pack. We got Andy's favorite growing up, Minnie and Me.
Yeah, I loved it.
Back there.
Loved it.
Yep, that was his favorite set. We got a couple Star Treks. I think there's a couple. Yeah, 2 Star Treks.
Captain Kirk rookie card. Could be, boys.
I don't know what this is. Wyvern? It might be some sort of like fantasy, like D&D style thing. I don't know.
No, did not catch on like Pokemon or anything.
Similar to this one, Creators Universe. I'm not sure what that is. And then Andy's favorite.
Sounds a knockoff of He-Man, right?
Bozo the Clown.
Yeah.
Remember what we said early on, the great card you can pull out of this? Remember the clown you said a couple episodes ago?
Wonky the Clown? I don't know.
No, it was Slappy the Clown. Slappy the Clown.
Slappy.
I dropped the pack there. Slappy the Clown. So you get to choose between that. You get to choose between. This is a great giveaway if this person chooses this.
That looks cool, actually.
1914 B18 baseball tobacco felt. These were issued in tobacco packages. This is Roger Peckinpah with New York. A little fading on the name, but again, free to somebody, so it can't beat free.
Hey, you could use it as a doily if you need, or like a little
decent value on that, especially the blue. The blue infield's a little rarer, I think, than the green infield, Annie, in case you run into them. Or you get the dead stock Chicago Bulls pennant. So you get your choice of those 3 lots. So let me get to the item. And the goal for the giveaway is the person who gets closest to the selling price. You can go over. We don't play prices right around here. You can go over, under, but the person closest to the selling price gets to choose that giveaway prize.
Yeah. Or we could just all pack it in and let Mark pick his prize now.
All right, let me find the image.
Oh, something just sold.
I sold something over here. Yeah. That's not the thing I'm showing right now. All right, Andy. So I think we talked about this on a previous episode, but
yeah, I know that. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So this is Roman's over. Roman's breaking news here. Just oh, it's breaking news. We have a breaking news sounder we can do.
You just send me a link and I'll do my breaking news voiceover. Memphis Tams, that's an original ABA team, right?
ABA team. I think this team was 1973, 1974 time frame. So a short-lived franchise. Great color, great graphic with the like Jamaican style hat. I guess that's called there. That Tam.
Yeah, looks in good condition.
Yeah. And as we talked about before, ABA stuff is pretty good. I mean, some stuff is better than others, right? But ABA stuff can be pretty strong.
It can, yeah, for sure. All right.
We got Harry at $39.98, Dan at $49.99. Got Roman with another Lions. Oh, yeah, here we go. He's looking for work. Right? We got $198.99 from Beatty. That's right. You could change it, Harry, up until Andy guesses.
Yeah.
So we got
Roman at
$129. The mark at $69.99.
Everybody's starting to learn your $99.99.
Yeah, but I will say, I did take an offer.
Okay,
I had to spend it listed for a while. This is from the 30,000 pennant buy that myself and Andy made. There were some good pennants mixed in that lot, and this was there was a decent amount of ABA stuff in there.
Okay. All right. Should we do a last call on this? Anybody?
Anybody else have let's see. Here with Brandon, ABA stuff, $290. All right, Brandon's in at $290. Yeah, he's right. ABA stuff definitely can be collectible.
Yep. Is that right? I didn't know that. Is that why? Maybe that's why it's called that.
Oh, really? Oh, maybe you're right. Yeah, man, Marcus. I didn't know that at all. I thought a Tam was a kind of hat.
I don't know. Could be. We'll have to look into that.
I think Tam is a hat.
Okay.
Tam cap. I don't know.
All right. So I know these are good because we had a handful of these. I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 at the most, right? We didn't have that many. Somehow Keith got all of them in his pack.
15 or 20 maybe. Yeah.
So a couple of things I know about these ABA pennants. There are definitely some teams that are better than others. Like some teams I think that turned into other teams are going to be better. I think some of those were the Nets one, right? Or was it the Nets or somebody that turned into the Nets? Is that one?
I don't know who turned into the Nets. I forget right now.
Definitely
like some of the ones like the San Diego Conquistadors, right? That's
they
don't
sell
great team.
Well.
Yeah, I think they're more common. I think that team was around a little bit longer.
Yeah.
The Kentucky Colonels, Harry has another one there. Yeah.
There's a couple I know that I think they could go, and I don't think this one is. I think this one's kind of in the middle, but I think they could go and have gone as high as $600-700, and if not even more. Squires.
Dr. J, the Virginia Squires.
Memphis Thames, I think is kind of in between. It's not one of the ones that was like $100 or $90 or something like that. I think this one probably falls, I guess, just because I think we may have talked about this a long time ago, but I know this has been up for a while. I think this one you probably had up for $299.99, and I think you took. I'm going to say you took an offer of $250.
$250. All right, so $250. So that's a lot of good guesses here in the chat. So let me get to the brand section here to let Andy know how he did.
Man, I still go.
See, I count that as a win. That looked like a win to me.
I had to go with the basketball theme for your ABA failure on this one. So let me get to the real price.
Interesting. I would have. Wow, damn! I didn't know that one was okay.
I did think
it was high.
Offer.
I knew it was high.
It's sort of funny. I had this one up for $599.99 for a while, right? And this guy, it was an interesting negotiation with this guy. He came in at 3 something and then 350, and I just kept responding with 4 is my best, and he would come in at 360. I'm like, 4 is my best, 375, 4 is my best, and then finally he's like 380, and I just said 4 is my best, and he declined it. But then like a day later, he came back and bought it at 400.
There you go.
So
yeah,
I knew it would sell for that at some point.
Yeah, these are good. I think we maybe had 1 or 2 that sold all right. I don't think. Yeah, I mean, I want to say the range on these is pretty extensive in terms of like. I think they've been as low as maybe 100 or 125, right? For some of the ones that are pretty.
Some 75, yeah. Like I think I know Harry mentioned the Colonels. I think the Colonels bring that on that lower end.
But they can go. I mean, this is 400. They can go. I think they can go higher, and this is probably in the middle range of the ABA pennants, right?
Yeah,
I mean, the higher end.
Some can get $1,000, I guess. We sold one for more. I forget what team that was.
Yeah.
But
maybe that's stuck in my mind. All right. Yeah. Well, good.
And then the winner of the giveaway is Brandon, 540 Flips, coming with the sports knowledge. Makes sense. Another sports guy.
Yeah, he knows his ABA.
Yeah. So Brandon, let me know. I'm assuming you might go with the tobacco felt, given you're a card guy. But let me get rid of my screen here.
I don't know.
Again, in case you came in late.
He was saying he was looking for a Captain Kirk rookie card. Those are hard to come by.
I don't think that was him, was it? Maybe it was. Well, we got the Chicago Bulls pennant. We got the 1914 B18.
Oh, maybe I'm sorry. I'm wrong on that. Yeah, I was the wrong person.
And a little wax pack bundle there. So, Brandon, you get to choose any of that, and I will hit you up a message on Instagram for your address.
Yeah, Harry, those are. If I want to say, if you pick anything, or for pennant wise, that's like doesn't look like it's super expensive. Those and another type of pennant that we have sold too, which is this WTS, World Tennis something. Those things sell for a lot of money too for some reason. Several $100s, and I don't know why, but they do.
So you want the blanket, right? It sounds like Brandon. I'll get that out in the mail to you. I assume that's what you meant. Yeah, those are cool. That's a cool set. I bought a ton of them in that group. I have some left over, but I had a couple Cobbs of Joe Jackson. That was a cool lot. That these are the leftovers that I've had for a while.
Cool.
All right.
Let's go.
Yeah, back to the draft, right? Oh no, I'm sorry. No, you have another one. I forgot.
I have one more I can do. Well, I have more than that, but
yeah, I forgot. I don't know why we messed up last week too. We went too quick.
All right, let me see. There you go. Another pennant for you, shocker, right?
Fresno Grizzlies. All right. Single A baseball. It's funny. I think I photographed the Grizzlies pennant today too, but I don't know if it was San Diego or Fresno. Might have been a different team. Yeah. Definitely not the same pennant. I think we've done some minor league pennants before that when they're short-lived and inaugural season is always a selling point, right? When you get that first season for a team. I mean, it's not super vintage. It is vintage, right? The 2003 would be vintage, and this is a vintage pennant. Cool graphic on it with the bear throwing a little heat.
Yeah.
All right.
Little claw marks on it too, I think.
Does it? I don't see is that? Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah, from his holding the grip on the ball. Yeah, I agree, Brandon. The inaugural season's the tricky one and the selling point.
Because I will say, on some of our pennants, the inaugural season and the end season are the same season.
Yeah, which is better, right? And which is better when you get those short-lived teams. Those are all strong guesses. I think somewhere in the 25 to 35 range, I'm thinking. And since I just missed by a penny in the last one, I'm going 32.98.
32. That's
32.98.
Okay, understood. Any other guesses? Are we good? Okay.
So you got 29.99, 49.99, 29 even, 32.99.
know when it's game time, it's pay time, baby.
Nice. It was close. It was close. Actually, it wasn't that close, but.
Oh wow, Dan nailed it.
Yep.
Yeah, spot on. All right, that was a strong guess, Dan. That's shocking to me, but that's the thing with these minor league pennants, man. You got to comp them out, look them up. Like,
well,
the
thing is, oops, and Harry's right. I mean, yeah, the pennants sell well, but like we also, I don't know how many you have up, but I mean, between the two of us, we have thousands of them up. So yeah, I mean, in a wide variety, and most of these don't, sell for this much, and they certainly don't sell for the TAMS money very much. They're usually selling for, 15 to $30. I would say that's the vast majority, but yeah.
That's the minor league stuff is good. Minor league stuff, like some early minor league hockey stuff is really strong. Like
Arena League can be good. Any of
some of those funky sports like World Team Tennis, they killed it.
That's what I say. Yeah, World Team Tennis. Those are another thing to look out for, which is like crazy. But all right, let's take it back. Let's do some drafting.
Pull up the draft board. So I'm on the wraparound, right? Let me see. All right.
No, I bet that is killing it. We have stuff like this, park pennants. I don't think I've ever sold anything that. 1939, I think is earlier than we have for the most part, but we probably have stuff in the 40s and 50s, and
there's early stuff in there. Anyway, we just haven't hit it yet. There's some boxes on the top that are like I sold some of it, the teens, some dated stuff, but the majority is going to be 30s, 40s, 50s, I think, in terms of the travel pennants. But there's some other stuff in there.
Yeah. But and it's weird, the stuff like not to jump off too far, but the Yellowstone and some of these places like Yellowstone and dams and things that are like big attractions actually don't sell as well some of the time because there were so many of them printed, I think.
Yeah. Some Niagara Falls is a key point. Like you find 5 of them for every 10 other pennants you find.
Yeah, Washington, D.C., there's the same pennant over and over and over again. But
another one is super common, but it sells really well for me. Equally, you see New York City, NYC, the skyline. You see those pennants constantly, like you see Washington, D.C., but they still sell pretty well.
Yeah, I can see that.
Obviously, how many people live in New York? It's cool to have that in your apartment, I guess, or something. So, but yeah, that's a lot of them don't sell quick, but we just let them sit, and then they definitely can fetch some pretty good.
Let them bake, right?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. What do you got for me?
So the wraparound. So let's see. Oh, what's the question? What's up, Shane? Welcome in, man. So Shane, we're guessing I'm not guessing. We're drafting our favorite pop culture dogs. So we're Andy drafted first. He went with Scooby-Doo, and I went with Lassie second. We're doing the wraparound, and everyone check out Shane's channel, Soda City Flips, as well as his podcast, The Reseller Locker Room. Great, both channels there. Cujo, you threw a little Cujo action. I'm not going to tease I didn't have Cujo on my list, but that's a good one.
I had it on my list.
All right. I didn't even think of Cujo. All right. So I'm going to go with.
He killed me.
No, you can still take him.
I wanted to drop the hammer on that one. Okay.
Yeah. All right. This is. I'm torn on this one. I didn't want to take him number 2, but for popularity, I got to go with Snoopy.
See, that was my number 2, but okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're number 2 over Lassie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like some other dogs better, but just for popularity's sake, and Peanuts is still everywhere, right? It's such a popular franchise, I guess you would call it.
That's good. It's just, I honestly don't even know what he really does, but I don't think he's in movie or he's in the shows, but he just sits up on his doghouse the whole time.
Yeah, he doesn't talk, right? Did he ever talk, Snoopy?
I don't think so.
So I got 2 non-talking dogs so far.
Yeah, right. It's a good, it's iconic.
Yeah.
And I think you have to go with that pick, just because it's, you got to take that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of the boring one because he doesn't really do it
I know. It's a chalk pick, right? I had to go with him, but that's why I wasn't thrilled with the pick.
Okay. All right. That's a good second pick. Okay. So my next pick, in the same vein as Lassie was for you, is a little dog named Old Yeller. Now, Old Yeller, but a lot of our picks are going way back.
Yeah.
But Old Yeller is like one of the most, baller dogs there is. He goes out there, fights a rabid bear or whatever, I forget what it was at this point, gives his life for his family. That's what he does. And that's bravery. That's a hero status. That is trustworthy. That's everything in the BI.
So there's people come in late. What go your acronym? He's using an acronym to decide the dog pick that he makes, right? What's your acronym?
So my acronym is best in acting, trustworthiness, comedy, or hero status. So, so those, it's the biatch score. And I think, yes, I know some of these are a little dated, but come on, this is Old Yeller, dude. If you watch the movie, you had to have grown Old Yeller is just still brought up in conversation. So
yeah, all I remember of Old Yeller is getting shot at the end. I don't remember him saving anyone.
That's what he saved the kid.
I know. That's how he got rabies, I guess, right? He had rabies.
Yeah.
But I don't remember much about the movie other than him getting shot.
That's my pick. I know it was in the same vein as Lassie, probably maybe a little less well known, but pretty close.
Yeah, I don't know. All right. It seems like that got a big reception in the chat. I didn't even have him on my list because it's a depressing one, right? But I agree. He tried to protect the family, I guess. There's some other ones like that, but Lassie did that and didn't die. Not that we.
Well, yeah, because how many?
And he saved the kid like countless times, right?
How many Lassies do you have? Are there? There were like 50 Lassies.
Probably were several Lassies. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's. I don't know what kind of dog he was. Old Yeller was, I think it must have been a yellow lab or something, but
I think it was like a mixed breed, but I can't really picture Old Yeller at all. Yeah. What's up, Bartermania? Yeah, we have dogs. Andy, you talk about your dogs first.
This is one of my dogs. I have two dogs. That's Mabel. She's a golden retriever. That's going to be a therapy dog soon. And then I have this other dog who is on the opposite end of the spectrum. We rescued him. He looks like a small dachshund, he looks like a big dachshund. He's got like little stubby legs but he's an absolute asshole. He's like the worst temperament that you could have. But so I have two dogs.
Yeah, I have three dogs. My one dog is my logo up top there. He's my Whippet Kipper. He's like a 12-year-old Whippet. I have an 11-year-old pug, and then I have a 3-year-old, 2-year-old. How old is she now? 2-year-old Labradoodle. She's sort of insane. So I got and then two cats. My house is pretty hectic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, most of my dogs have been on my channel. At the end of my videos, I usually put Kipper in there. All right, Andy, let me get to the. Someone said Old Yeller was a lab. Or he says in his head. It definitely looks like a yellower dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let me get to the segment section here, Andy.
Let's see.
All right, Andy. So, and the people new in the chat. So what we do in this segment is I show Andy, I talk about some type of sports memorabilia, teach something, right? And in this video, I was going to talk about how to tell like an early football. Anyway, so this is an early football. This football is a trophy ball from 1923. I think it was Oklahoma OU versus Oklahoma A&M. It's like painted with the score and everything on there. You won't be able to pick that up in the light. But Andy, do you know of any ways you can tell how old this ball is generally?
I would guess by the shape.
Shape is one. Yep, shape is one.
Maybe I don't know, the stitching. Is that another?
No, because new football still have stitching. But yeah, I guess you could say it's more of a brown leather stitching in early balls. But definitely the shape is one, right? And there's another key one I'll show in a second. But this is on the tail end of what we would call a melon ball, where it's a little bit more of a rounded, square-nosed football. And they definitely went out of vogue in the 1920s. So
they look a little more like rugby balls, actually, like rugby
Yeah,
style.
absolutely. Well, early football and rugby, very similar. 19th century, they were definitely more like rugby balls. And yeah, and Shane's right. There's not really much of a pebbly grain on this ball for grip. The forward pass wasn't really in place in football until like the late 1900s, like 1907, 1910 kind of time frame. It started becoming more in vogue, but really wasn't a big part of the game until much later, until the balls changed. And this ball was not very easy to throw, not very easy to grip. What's up, Archie? Welcome in, man. But Andy, the main thing you can tell a ball, if you find an old ball, beside the shape.
Wait, are they more wrinkly?
Not more wrinkly. There's no, how would you inflate this ball? Any idea how you would inflate this ball?
Oh, okay. So there's no pinhole or anything for
no,
it.
yeah, no
Needle.
inflation valve. Yeah. So for these early footballs, you'd have to unlace them, take the valve out, pump it up, relace it. Pretty much a pain in the butt at that time frame. I'm sure they'll have to stop the game, take 10 minutes to unlace a ball. So it wasn't until 1925 that somebody came up with a patent for an inflation valve. And so if you see a ball with an inflation valve, you know it's going to be at least late 1920s. For example, this is a 1939 trophy ball.
Okay.
That has an inflation valve right there. So you can see this in the shape difference too. It was late, I would say like 1930 to 1934 where the football became more regulated with the size of the football. So this is more of like a modern size shape football, right?
Like the inflation, the inflate gate. Is that what the part of the problem was?
Not
as much.
First inflate gate. Yeah. First inflate gate.
Gotcha.
So there you go. So we got 1920, 23 on this ball, 1934. You can see that 10-year window, a major change in football. Inflation valve shaping the ball.
What about pricing in between one or the other? I would assume the uninflatable is. By the way, did you take that apart to inflate it, or did you just?
No, this one actually had restored by a friend of mine, and this ball I had stuffed.
Okay.
I do have a lot of melon balls that I've had bladders put in and had them inflated, but if I don't sell them within like a month, they leak air. They slowly leak air, and then I got to send it back out to them to get it reinflated. Gotcha. So I get them stuffed so they permanently retain their shape.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And so what's the pricing in between the two, you think?
Well, I mean, I
know it's depending if all things considered the same ball.
Okay, that's a fair question. Yeah. So I would say if you have a non-trophy ball, like just a regular 1920s football, pre-inflation valve melon ball, probably $300 to $500, I would say, somewhere in that range. Like a 1930s ball with an inflation valve, $75, $80, $100, somewhere in that range. This ball is significantly more because it's a trophy ball. And then that ball, I forget what I have that ball as, but that ball's that's a high school ball, so not super expensive.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, if you see that stuff, definitely check that out. If you find some early footballs, you're welcome to hit me up on Instagram if anyone finds them, and I'll give you my thoughts on them. But I actually rented a ball very similar to this to the NFL Films, and I rented a couple of them. One, they had Boomer Esiason throwing to Marvin Harrison in a video, which, speaking of Marvin Harrison earlier.
Interesting.
And another ball I rented them, the football they had Bill Clinton and Peyton Manning have a catch with it. So that was pretty cool. That ball that was, former president throwing that ball around.
Yeah. Did you then market it as being thrown by a former president?
I didn't, no. And actually that ball I had already sold to somebody else, and he sent it back for me to rent to him. So I didn't have it anymore, but I got it for him.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't own it anymore.
Cool.
All right, yeah. So a little deep dive into vintage footballs there. Make sure I didn't miss anything in the chat. We got an active chat going on. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
So we have let's see, 10. Yeah. All right. Let me get to the back to the draft board.
All right. So we're on the turn here with me going again. Let's see. You trust?
Yeah.
Hey, he's a Terp. He's got the slinging lefty at the old Terp Stadium.
You could pull that video up on NFL Films. It was pretty cool when I rented those balls to them. I met with them and their production crew, and they gave me a tour. Very cool place. It was during like the NFL Combine, so I was back in where they were doing all the Combine footage.
Oh, really? Okay, that's
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm back up.
Yeah, let me get the board back. Hope we can recover after that old Yeller pick.
Oh, stop it! You're trying to put me down. There's one.
What's that?
That was a little pun. Put me down.
I got. Listen, I thought you were talking about the chat. That's rough. Eh? That's a rough pun.
That's also rough. What you just said. Did you do that?
No, that was totally accidental.
Yeah. Nobody else thinks we're funny. Okay, I'm gonna bring it back a little bit. Scooby-Doo is not too bad. Keith went for some old dogs here. But I'm gonna go with Brian from the Family Guy.
He was on my list. Yeah.
He is one of the few, maybe not few, he's one of the best talking dogs, though. And I think between him and Stewie, that was that made that show. I mean, like, obviously, but those two were huge. So Brian, I love Brian. My favorite, I'm sure if you're a Family Guy, I don't know how big of a Family Guy fan you are, Keith, but
yeah, I love Family Guy. Yeah.
The best episode with between Brian and Stewie is when he doesn't have his money. Do you remember that when Stewie beats up Brian?
No,
for like 4 hours straight. He's like, "Better have my money, Brian. Better have my money." He keeps going over and over again.
Oh, it's funny as hell.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, Shane, that was awesome time, man. If you can check out, I was on with Shane on Cat's Reseller podcast on Tuesday nights with Rod, Picking and Punching. Great show. It's like a learn about reselling. People ask questions, a roundtable format. Awesome time answering people's questions, but also I learned from the other resellers, a bunch of great resellers in the chat and on the show. And then I was on with Roman on Anytime Picker on the Anytime Picker channel as well. So I appreciate that, Biscuit Butt. That was a fun
Making
time.
the rounds, buddy.
Yeah. The media tour. Yeah. But that was a great time. Although my Wi-Fi like crashed during Roman's show. I felt terrible. So I was like scrambling to go up into my upstairs dining room during the show. But it's better now. I got new routers. All right. Yeah. So I got me on the flip around here in the next page.
The first of two, yeah. It's better. All right. Finish strong.
Yeah, I always do.
This is honestly, this is from here on out. It's a little tough. I feel like
it is. It can't go.
It's like they're not great. Like there are no dogs that are like, oh yeah, that's a killer.
I mean, for me, growing up in the 80s, I mean, I was born in the late 70s, right? But growing up in the 80s kids.
I think I know where you're going, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of great like TV mascots, commercial mascots. And I think the favorite one I remember for me, like when you're going down to the beach and the boardwalk, there's always Spuds McKenzie gear everywhere you went. And I'm going to go with Spuds McKenzie. Great mascot back in the day. You don't see many bull terriers around, right? You don't see many bull terriers. So that's why I wore the Club Spud vintage crew neck sweatshirt.
Clipping your picks a little there, but okay.
Clipping my wings? Clipping my wings?
Tipping your picks.
Tipping my picks. Yeah, well, yeah. I didn't have to take them, but I think he was a cool. I don't think he talked either. I don't think any of my dogs have talked yet. Maybe he did. I don't recall.
It's a good one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome. Blow mold. I never saw that. Yeah, Taco Bell Chihuahua. That's a good one too. Yeah. Oh man, I gotta rethink my list now. Seeing some of this chat.
Yeah, there's a couple on here that there's just so many of them. It's like it's whatever you grew up with and stuff and remember. Affects your picks a lot. So
absolutely, yeah. And a lot of like people growing up now, if you're like in your mid 20s or something, they probably have no idea who Spuds McKenzie is unless you're into vintage clothing, right? You're probably not gonna
definitely know. Yeah, I think and I know you didn't put too many more than what you needed to, but I have, I don't know, I have probably like 15 or 16 that we can go over some other ones. I'm sure the chat will come up too, but
yeah, I have extra ones for sure.
Cool. All right. So what do we what's the next?
Yeah, let's see. You should have the chat with. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, you guys are welcome to throw names up there for sure. We need some help. I mean, Andy needs help. He's lost a couple weeks in a row, right, Andy?
Yeah, I've been having a little bit of trouble with
yeah, the vote is not going his way.
Yeah, I tried to get too cute for myself, I think, last week.
Dart from Stranger Things. I don't know who's the dog in Stranger Things. Dart.
Is that the?
It's like the evil. What are those things called? The
Yeah, it was. Oh yeah, it was like his little thing that grew up. Like he had that little. Remember, I think it was Stranger. It was like must have been the second or third season, I guess.
The thing they found, they were keeping as a pet. Okay.
Yeah.
That was called. He called it Dart.
I guess so. Yeah.
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that season in a while.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a demagogue. Okay, so he was like when he was a baby. He was a demagogue or demogorgon. What they called it.
Yeah.
All right. Let me quick other segment here.
Find of the week.
All right, so I'm sticking with football on the find of the week here. And you let me know if you have any finds of the week from the death pile finds. But I picked up a couple things from a local online auction today. This afternoon, I just picked them up. But this is a early leather football helmet. And the interesting thing about this is not the helmet. The helmet's a pretty common helmet, right? I don't think I can show that better on the screen. Pretty common helmet, like 1930s, 1940s, probably George Reach brand leather helmet. Not in great condition, but the face mask is what makes the piece. This is an early tie-on. I think this one's called a cow catcher. I got to look it up again, but a cow catcher where you would, leather ties on both the forehead and the side.
That's weird.
The face mask is worth a lot more than the helmet. So I bought it for the face mask. I'm going to sell it as a group, but I'm sure that the face mask is going to drive the price. So that's a rare stuff.
Definitely weird looking.
Yeah, this is probably one of the earlier style helmets that were worn. Face masks, not early style helmets, but earlier style face masks were worn. So I paid, I think, $189 plus a buyer's premium for it. But I mean, I've sold these before in the $450 to $500 range with this style helmet, so that should sell pretty quick. Yeah, and then the same auction, I picked up a pair of these guys. This is a 1950s NFL game ball. So we have Burt Bell by Thorpe Sporting Goods, and they came out with the Duke. So the Duke is still, you still hear the name of the Duke for for footballs, but they made the game balls. Thorpe Sporting Goods, Burt Bell being the Eagles owner, but NFL commissioner after that. So I've sold a ton of these, and these were a great price on a pair of these I bought. So yeah, a lot of football in my segments today, but
that's all good.
Yeah.
All right. That was a quick one, but we'll go back, right? And you're back to your pick.
Back to the draft. Yeah. Absolutely.
But yeah,
it might have been Brandon. It might have been something. Often a lot of these helmets were initially worn without face masks at all. So this one I'm sure was. This is not like a new leather, so I'm assuming it was put on at some point after the helmet was originally used. That style helmet typically you would not see with a face mask, so that was like a modification to allow it to have a face mask on it.
I think he's talking about the most recent one that you had. Was that one stuffed that you?
No, this one's holding air. I have two of these. The other one isn't. This one is holding air. I haven't inflated. It came inflated. So yeah.
It is for the
which is always a nice selling point. What's that?
Yeah. It is for the time being, at least, right?
That one must be fine. Yeah, because that was in that warehouse for a while when I picked it up from the auction house. So generally, I mean, if they're still holding air, it's probably fine. That's a big selling point for vintage footballs. That if they hold air, that definitely adds a nice little bonus to them. And if anybody needs, if you have any vintage footballs that don't hold air, I mean, they still sell as is, but I have a guy that restores them for me, so I'm happy to share his information if anybody needs that. I do have a pretty good collection. I collect all Philadelphia Eagles and Frankfurt Yellow Jackets items. So I'll sprinkle that in the podcast here, and I've shown that on my channel a bit, but I definitely have a pretty big collection. And he's been in my Eagles room, I would call that, right?
It's a little weird, a little crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what got me. Yeah.
There's a lot of mannequins that are a little disconcerting.
I have like 7 mannequins in my finished basement that are all dressed in game used football equipment, Eagles jerseys, helmets. That quote.
That's what he uses them for.
Yeah, that's what they're for. So yeah, I have a lot of so that's definitely, my son was afraid to come in my basement for a long time, so there's just like mannequins everywhere. But they're dressed. They're
don't blame them.
Yeah. But yeah, so and that's what got me into reselling in the first place. Like 20 years ago when I started collecting, I was in college. No, not mannequins. When I started collecting, I would buy on eBay. I would buy like a lot of stuff for like one Eagles item, and then realize, oh, I can sell the rest of the stuff, make money, get the Eagle stuff for free. So both the collection and my selling inventory grew from there. All right, let me get back to the.
What do you got? What do you got? This is where it gets a little tough. Yeah, this is
me again.
Yeah, a lot more personal choices, I think, coming up here.
Yeah, this is tough because I know that chat didn't love the your old Yeller pick, and this isn't also an old Yeller pick. Where do I go? All right, I'm going to go more modern, not that modern, but more modern, to a show that I love, a show that we've covered before on our podcast in the comedy section of the comedy draft.
Was there a dog in what's his name show? Please tell me there was.
Got a lot. Yeah. No, there wasn't. I don't think
because you would have picked it.
No, I don't think. But I'm going to go with Buck from Married with Children. Very similar to the Family Guy dog.
Don't know about that
you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. He was very depressing. He was like always like talking. He was a talking dog, but it was like just him thinking it, right? Yeah. Thinking out loud. Yeah. So he would like just.
Wow. That's not on my list at all.
They're not going to feed me today. It was such a pessimistic
sarcastic. Yeah, you made fun of Old Yeller because it was sad.
Old Yeller got shot. I mean, this dog was he was sort of negative, but yeah, Roman likes Buck. Dan loves Buck. Buck was a strong dog.
I guess we'll see.
I like that. Thanks for hanging, Brandon. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for coming out. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I was not on my list, so I'm safe on that one. There are a couple. Okay, so I'm going to be picking again, so I can do. I mean, this doesn't really have a big meaning in terms of who I pick. One or two here, but I think I have two that I'm going to go with. Okay, so one of my favorite movies, kind of growing up. I think
he likes Buck Rogers.
Not the same. Was I don't know if you remember this movie. I'm sure you do. Starring Tom Hanks. Does that ring a bell at all?
I'm sorry. Oh yeah, he was on my list. I wasn't sure which one he was. Which of the names? I had to look that up. Yeah.
I'm going to go with Hooch. Hooch is the French Mastiff. That was the sort of police dog that Turner and Hooch was based on.
Give a better. I'm sorry. You said. Give me one more time. What was the dog you picked?
Hooch from Turner and Hooch.
Okay. Well, you threw me off at the end when you said what Turner and Hooch was based on. But give me the better pronunciation of that dog's breed. You know the other pronunciation of that?
Dog de Bordeaux.
Yeah, come on. You got to French it up for the podcast.
Well, that's a French Mastiff, but yeah.
Yeah, Dog de Bordeaux.
Of course. But Hooch was awesome. That's kind of what I was hoping that our psycho dog would turn into now. It's just like a nightmare, but eventually would save my life and take a bullet for me. I don't think he would but anyway. Yeah. It's a great dog.
He's a cool dog. You like the drool, shaking his head, drool flying. You got like a drooly dog.
The good part at the end, he also got some action that I think he got some action with the maybe not Sheltie. What was it? I guess it was.
It's been a long time since I've seen her.
What's Lassie? Lassie's a
Collie.
Okay.
Yeah, smooth or rough-coated Collie.
So half the dogs that they had a litter, half the dogs were Collie looking, and half the dogs were just.
I gotta rewatch it. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Shane, absolutely, man. You're welcome anytime. If you want to come on ours or if you want to do one on your own, for sure, man. It's a fun time. And we do talk about reselling too, but it gives us we have some breaks, reselling draft. And I get to mock Andy's picks along the way. So it's a fun time. That was a good pick though, Andy. Although you didn't say the dog breed, right?
I did say Dog de Bordeaux.
Yeah, you did.
but it's a French Mastiff essentially. But.
Yeah, no, we've had people talk about Cujo earlier. I don't know if it's I think it's on our list.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if it'll get drafted or not. We'll see. Let me add it's Hooch, right? Not Turner.
Hooch was the dog, yeah. I'm 99% sure.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let me show the draft board here.
Well, this is my wraparound, so
well, we're gonna do the sales of the week and then we'll finish it, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just showing the draft board for a second so you can show where we were, how we had so far.
I didn't think of Spuds McKenzie. It's pretty good. Spuds is good. Buck, I mean, I'm just not feeling Buck as much from Married with Children, but
I love Buck. I love that show. That show's hilarious. And you know, it's funny for Spuds McKenzie. I've only ever seen, I think I've treated like 2 bull terriers in the 20 years I've been a vet. And the one was the meanest dog I've ever seen. So would scare the hell out of you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the breed. I always loved them growing up.
Yeah.
You don't see many anymore.
I like them too. There's this like trainer that we were kind of watching for a while, and she specialized in those dogs. It was funny. And like obviously hers were really well trained. But they're the coolest dog. They have a cool face. They're super like devoted to you, but they can be a little aggressive.
Sure. All right, let me get to the segment.
Sale of the week.
All right. So for the people, get some new people in the chat. So in this segment, this is our second segment of this in this podcast, but we show each other some sales of the week. We guess each other's sales price. The goal is for us to get within 10%. We encourage the chat as well to guess along.
Absolutely.
Yes. Let me get to mine first here. Flash from Dukes of the Hazzard. Was that the big, like, is he a bloodhound owned by the sheriff?
Yeah.
Is that his name, Flash?
Or Rasco Pico Train. I forget who had it.
That was the dog's name?
No, Roscoe Pico Train. Wasn't that the guy's, like...
Something like that. It doesn't sound right, but it's something like that.
I don't know. That's what I remember, but yeah.
All right,
there's so many dogs from like the 80s that were in 80s like sitcoms, or maybe not even sitcoms, but like 80s shows that you forget about. I totally forgot about Boss Hogg's dog. Okay.
Boss Hogg.
I thought he had like, oh yeah. Okay.
Roscoe P. Train. He might have been his like assistant guy or something.
Roscoe P. Coltrane. Okay.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. We messed that name up pretty bad. All right, Andy. So we showed this in the memorabilia deep dive in the first couple weeks of the podcast. We know what this kind of statue is called. Do you remember?
I don't, but I know there's two. There's like the 2 different ones. It's not the one that we have that are. Is it plastic?
No, it's porcelain. Let me grab one. I have one right in the shelf behind me, and I'll show the size of it. Hold on 1 second.
Okay. Yeah, there's some good ones. There's so many freaking dogs. Honestly, I have a list of like 15 or 20, and but these are all just as good too. And I don't even have half of them on my list.
So this is a bigger version of it, Andy. This is like a 11-inch cold statue. The one on the screen is like a 6.5-inch version, so it's a smaller one.
Okay.
But these are porcelain statues by the Fred Kale. Fred Kale is a sculptor. Yeah, sculptor from Baltimore, Maryland, from your neck of the woods. But these are like made late 50s into the early 60s. Made in 5 styles. The standing lineman, there's a down lineman, small and large version. And then there's an ashtray, which is much rare. So we got the Philadelphia Eagles porcelain statue there.
All right. I know these so well. I know that's for sure. I'm trying to think if these were the Kales that I was going to buy a group of. It wasn't Kales, I don't think. It was the plastic. What are the plastic ones? Those are the
Heartlands.
Heartlands, yeah. The Heartland footballs sell really well too.
Yeah, they're strong for sure.
We are. I mean, feel free. You don't have to if you don't want to, but yeah, I mean, throw your always helps.
Yeah, absolutely.
Helps me. But okay.
So it's at $79.99.
So part of me is going to get thrown off, I think, because I probably have heard the highest price of these, and I don't, like Keith said, I think this is not the biggest one, so probably, and also not the most rare, maybe, but
Frank. Yeah, is that the pug, Shane? Yeah, I love a pug. I have a pug myself. That was a cool pug. If that was a pug.
Okay. It was 149.87. You got there.
Okay. I thought that was a
okay
Black reference.
Yeah, I think this is.
He was just undercutting Archie by a little bit, I think, because Archie came in at 149.99.
It's cutthroat. It's cutthroat.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to say I think it's a little more than that. I don't think it's drastically higher, but I think the bigger ones can go upwards of 400, maybe. I don't know, I'm probably talking out my ass, but this is kind of what I remember from having to. This is the stuff I somewhat retained from Keith talking my ear off for hours upon hours if I ever visit him.
I'll interject a little bit. The down linemen, bigger ones, can bring that kind of high range. Not that generally, unless they're a rare team, not the regular standing ones.
Okay. So I'm going to go a little bit higher than everybody. I think you're going to say if you took an offer on this or no?
This was an Etsy sale, so I didn't take an offer.
Okay.
It just sold outright.
Yeah, I'm going to go 199.99 is my price. I think it's a little bit higher, but I don't think it's too much. I think I could have overshot too, but
To the top rope with Shane McMahon out on the ladder.
Damn it.
Definitely, you didn't get this one, but you did overshoot it. Let me show you the price.
Okay. At least that was
some very close guesses in the chat. Looks like
man, I'm getting killed.
Right on.
I gotta stop. Yeah. I gotta start taking the average of everybody. I think I might win.
What's up, Ben? Thanks for joining us, man. And everyone, I said it earlier, but definitely check out the Reseller Locker Room podcast and then Rocky Top Pickers channel, Biscuit Butts channel. There's a ton of great YouTube channels in the chat, or if you're watching on the replay, definitely check them out. All right, Andy, you didn't. You didn't get any in a while, right? You got one last week, I think. You didn't win any today, I don't think.
Didn't I?
No,
neither. Okay, but you didn't either. Okay.
I feel like I won because I was a penny off, and you told me I won by accident.
Sorry. Okay, let me see here.
Oh, you want to show that video again? Yeah, I'll show it. We have a little clip video that we show when
I'll show it. He won't get this one.
I'll show it one more time. It's a request.
To the top rope with Shane McMahon out on the ladder.
Yeah, we have a little clip for more losses than wins. So
we should just have like maybe one clip for a win because it's so rare.
Yeah,
not for me, but for you. Okay. Let me make this bigger.
Yeah, so we got a rodeo program. Is that what this is?
Yeah. So it's a 1947 official program list of rodeo contestants. This is the type of stuff we bought from this guy. Just total random stuff in this thing.
So the people in the chat, like some of the guys who were first time here, me and Andy bought a 3-car garage buy from another reseller who's sort of retiring from it, toy dealer, sports dealer, hoarder. And just immense amounts of stuff. It took us we filled a 26-foot truck and several van loads to get it back to the warehouse. And he had all kind of stuff. And this was in there, I assume, Andy, right? This was part of that.
Yep.
Yeah. You throw this random stuff in there. I have no clue. And I feel like I'm pretty knowledgeable in a lot of sports, but this is barely a sport, right? Rodeo. It's a sport.
Oof,
I'm not ripping the rodeo people, but it's a sport. I'm sure it's not easy. Let's see. So is it more than one page? Is
nope, just one page, front and back.
Oh, just okay. So it's just like a leaflet kind of deal.
Yep.
All right. So we had 129.87, 19.99, 20. Yeah, I'm not thinking it's as high as Shane's at, but I have no clue, and he might be dead on for all I know. It's probably a very small niche of collectors, right?
I will say I don't have the pick. I'm not going to.
That's all right. No, as long as you know what the price is. I don't.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I do.
I'm going to go there. I'm pretty close to a lot of the guesses in the chat. I'm going to go with. Well, I'm going to guess you probably listed it $34.99. took a $27 offer. $27.
27 is your final offer. Not
Final
offer,
guess.
but okay.
We're just completely destroyed. That's all. Ugh. Destroyed.
Yeah, it was sold. Well, it was listed. I think it was listed for $24.99, and we sold it an offer for $18. So,
Okay. Hey, it's still not bad for
yeah, for a single sheet rodeo. But it was kind of cool. I thought, like, it was just like, who's interested in this? But somebody is.
Yeah. That's what you just gotta get those. There's collectors for everything, all kind of niches out there, right? And whether it's a Western collector or a rodeo collector. Yeah, let's see. What was the price again? What was it? $18? Yeah, so we had some very close guesses with I mean, Archie was a penny off. Yeah. Mark at $19.99, Dan at $20, very strong. They were all closer than me.
Yeah, and Archie, honestly, he offered 18, but we would have normally sold it for $17.99. That's kind of we do the same thing. So
yeah, nailed it.
Good guess. All right.
Let me get to mine here. This is going to be similar, kind of like random piece of paper. This thing is sort of. Let me show you. So what this is, Annie, there's a second picture of it. This is a small, like a little bigger than a quarter. It's like maybe $50 size, a little under that, somewhere between the two. It's cardboard, and it's like a pin. So it has like a little like paper, pin up top. It says Happy Felton says, and on the back side, let me find the back side. Here it is. It says it's like a bank advertisement, but basically Happy Felton was a group of like a knothole gang for the Brooklyn Dodgers. He organized a knothole gang. Do you have any idea what a knothole gang is?
No.
So knothole gang was like a group for children to come to baseball games cheaper. So it was like, I guess the name came from like little kids like watching a baseball game through the knothole of a fence. So there's knothole gang stuff for all teams. And this Happy Felton knothole gang was for the Brooklyn Dodgers. Small paper button, probably from the 1950s, early 1950s. About an inch wide paper.
Oh my God.
I don't know what the string was for, to be honest. I don't know what that little string was about, but it was a button.
What on earth would you like? I don't even know what the heck this would sell for. Like, this is ridiculous. I don't even know. I mean, I can't think that you rarely put stuff on here that sells for like super cheap, but
and to be honest, this came out of the garage and I had that original box that I pulled out, and I pulled this baggie out. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And I was a little surprised by it.
I mean, I'm a no.
Does it look like the King of the Hill, dude? Does it look like the King of the Hill guy?
A little bit,
yeah.
Bobby, damn it. I know, like, what the heck? He's not giving me any chance on these, honestly.
So
like,
$39.99. We have $49.99, $99 from Roman, $12.87.
Brooklyn Dodgers stuff probably sells better. I mean, I'm going to go with what the group's going with, honestly, because I think they're probably closer than I have any clue of. All right, I'm going to say it sold for $44.99 because it's kind of, Mark said 39, Dan said 49, Roman went 99, but we have $12.87.
Yeah, there's a variety of guesses there. So you were at 40. Were we at 47?
$44.99.
Okay.
Oh, Richard! Oh, wow! Wow!
Unsuccessful day for you, Annie. Let me find the price here.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
I would never have thought that.
Yeah. I was surprised when I pulled this stuff out.
Yeah, Roman hitting it.
Roman
knocking it out of the park.
Yeah. There was rather strong guesses in there. But yeah, I pulled this. There was a button from this group that sold for $75, like another pocket schedule I have up for $150. I was sort of stunned when I pulled this baggie out and I started looking up the prices.
Damn.
This thing looked like nothing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So 0 for 4, Andy. Do you have another one, or is that you had the 3?
I mean, I have one more. I don't know if you want to do it or not. it's not spectacular by any means, but
throw it up. I need to get a win.
All right.
Yeah, and Brooklyn Dodger stuff historically is like a strong seller, but that market has slowed down a lot in recent times. But this is the kind of thing that if you worth point it, probably sales like 10 years ago are stronger than they are now. But
yeah,
I'm not going to complain about $100 sale for that little piece of paper.
For sure. All right. This is let me just double check on the date, but this is a 1941, The New Alphabet of Aviation by Edward Shenton.
Is it a book? Is it a book or like
It is a book. It may, I think could have been hardback too.
The New Alphabet. So we have a big bookseller in the chat here with Shane Soda City Flips.
Have you seen a lot of these? I don't know. It's a tough one.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to follow his kind of guess there. I sell a fair amount of books, but I don't not as much as him, I don't think. Nor do I know much about aviation books or antique aviation books. What year is this from?
1941.
41. It's like a little World War II action or time frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's got great graphic, great color with the little that's that a fighter plane. I don't know what kind of plane that is. I'm not a plane
like
expert.
B-51 or something like that, maybe?
Is it? No, that's not a bomber. That's like a small jet.
B something. I thought not B-51.
Maybe somebody knows. Maybe I don't think we know.
We're just making it up.
Yeah, we're totally making it up. So yeah, the big varied guess range here.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say, Roman came in at 150. This is Andy's like, should I put this in here or not? I'm guessing this is not his strongest sale. He's like, should I throw it in at the end? But I'm gonna go with $21.99. $21.99 on this guy.
All right.
Dan was $19.99. Archie was $19.99. $12.99. A lot of up to $150 with Roman. And maybe Roman's right. I have no idea. Maybe Andy's throwing me for a loop. He's doing some calculations over there, I think.
What was your guess again?
17. I think I said $17.99.
You said 7?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, $21.99.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got confused by the chat.
Ooh, you want to know what you lost by again?
No, a penny?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
$21.98 would have been a correct answer. It was sold for $19.99.
Oh man, it's twice in this podcast.
That's right.
That's great.
Unfortunately, that's tough. I would have rather have been way off than that close, personally. But
should have rounded that up. Oh wow,
okay.
Fishing gears. There's a Wildcat. That's kind of jet.
Yeah, I'm saying not even really. It's not a jet though. Which it's a.
I don't. Yeah.
It's got a propeller. So, anyway,
well,
yeah, it's cool. Yeah. There's some of these stuff that are pretty cool.
There he goes. He has exact F4F Wildcat.
There you go.
Appreciate it, Fishing Gears. Appreciate that. Knowledgeable Fishing Gears.
You just like saying that.
Oh, I love that name.
Okay, let's finish it off with
yeah. Get back to the draft board. So you were up next, right, Andy?
Yeah, this is my final pick.
All right, let me find this
here.
My share screen get all there.
There's so many that have been put in chat this time too that are good.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can go through them at the end. Some more that I was kind of tempted to pick. I'm going to go. This was always going to be my final pick, and I was going to be the one that I thought I would kind of annoy you or get you on. Unfortunately, it was said like 2 minutes in. I'm going to go with Cujo. Cujo is so classic. I love it. I like all the rest of my dogs are, heroes and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you have Cujo just bringing the,
But with Cujo, and we started with your acronym, and people knew in the chat, Andy has an acronym every episode. In this episode, his acronym was the biatch factor.
Correct.
What was there like a?
It's best in acting, trustworthiness, comedy, and hero. I think it was a comedy, honestly. Cujo's comedy.
Come on,
he was just trying to make friends. And then
that was a good. He was a great actor.
Yeah,
he was a great actor. You
but
totally
yeah,
went off the acronym with it.
Cujo. I know. I wasn't sure exactly where he fit in. Maybe he's the anti-hero, I guess. Instead of maybe I should have put it. Yeah, anti. Best and anti.
Anti-hero would have been your the A.
Yeah.
And for people to know, I forced Andy to put an A into that acronym to make it biatch.
Yeah.
Make it a family channel here.
Because people have no idea what I'm talking about. But anyway, Cujo just wanted he just wanted to make friends. Nobody would throw him a tennis ball or anything. You know, if he would have played with him, he would have been fine.
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't seen Cujo since it probably came out, and that was probably mid-'80s. When did that movie come out? I know it was a Stephen King book,
redone. I think even maybe once or twice.
Oh, was it? I didn't know it was redone.
Yeah, it was probably 80s.
I see 85 is the date, maybe.
Yeah. 83 it came out, apparently.
83, okay.
The original one. But I think there's been one or two.
I didn't know they remade it, but I love Stephen King books. I've never read Cujo though. I should read Cujo.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of Stephen King books on long trips. I'll listen to obviously a lot of them are 80 hours long on an audiobook. Yeah. Misunderstood.
Yeah. Misunderstood. That's what it is. If people wouldn't run away from him, he wouldn't have chased.
I don't remember the beginning of that movie. Did he get bit by a bat? He was rabid too, right? He was a rabid dog.
I think he was possessed. It was essentially
really? Possessed. Was he possessed? I don't remember the details of it. It's been a long time.
I don't remember the full story of it too, honestly. How he he wanted to make little Cujos. I guess there were no remakes. I thought maybe there was some TV show, not TV show, but made for TV movies or something like that. I could have sworn I saw an updated one, but
I mean, it would be a good movie, but it's probably hard to do and get worry about animal abuse, making a movie. How would they get that dog to be so? I don't probably animated or make it.
I don't know. You could turn it into a Disney movie.
yeah.
Cujo, the later years, when he's he's just older and he's just looking for bacon. He got real fat. It's just
did he get shot too? The two of your dogs you drafted get shot?
I don't know how. Yeah,
it probably did. I don't remember.
Back in the days, that's how it ended.
Let me put your pick in there. All right.
Cujo. I like that one. Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
That's what we should do. We should have a naming of what the finale or the second Cujo would be when Cujo gets turns into an older dog. It's
but he died though, right? To be clear, did he die?
I mean, I think he did, but did he really ever die?
I guess Stephen King books, anything's possible for him to come back and
he was in the Pet Cemetery probably somewhere.
There you go. Yeah. All right. I'm going old school again. We had some old school picks in this draft. Lassie, Old Yeller. This is probably a very similar time frame to probably even before Old Yeller. Definitely before Lassie.
Oh boy.
I think
Old Yeller I don't think was as old as you think. Maybe I'm wrong, but good.
I don't know. It was a book, I think, first, right? So I don't know when the book was published. That would be awesome, Roman. Yeah, that's true. So I'm going to go back to a dog this is World War II history here. We have a dog that was rescued from the bombed out shelter in France by an American soldier, brought back to America, became a nationwide phenomenon in silent movies and then regular film. I'm going to go Rin Tin Tin. Rin Tin Tin. Yep. Again, probably most younger people aren't even never heard of Rin Tin Tin, nor have I ever seen Rin Tin Tin in a movie or anything. But...
Well, good pick, right?
Come on. In fact, he was rescued from World War II from a bombing site. It's a pretty cool story how he got brought back by an American.
I would have no idea how I didn't know his origin story at all.
You didn't know the origin story of Rin Tin Tin?
I don't know.
Yeah, going deep. You got to go with the I like to work history in a lot of my picks. I've done that before. I go deeper with
You got some deep cuts. You got some side B songs for sure. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, how many draft boards have Buck from Married with Children and Rin Tin Tin next to each other? But
I do feel, I mean, I know like Rin Tin Tin's like the first dog my parents would think of is Rin Tin Tin.
Well, I try to get something for all,
yeah.
all genres of watchers. Or
we'll have to consult the statistics. I'm not sure our crowd's 80 plus though, so maybe you should look into that next time.
My demographics on my channel are definitely an older demographic. My demographics are 99.1% men, the rest women. Very low women rating, and which I don't understand.
And one of them is your wife, probably.
Yeah, a little bit. She watches a little bit. But yeah, so that.
All right.
I know we've never watched Rin Tin Tin, but I wanted to. There's some other older ones I think I have in my list.
Yeah. Well, does that wrap it up, and we can go.
It is. Yeah, we're in the honorary mentions now, so that's our top 5 each. Let me pull that board up. So, guys, what we do after the draft is we put this up in my community post. You guys can vote on who won. Here's the draft board. Andy drafted first.
Just gotta make sure you said that right.
Yeah, she watches when I force her to watch. So when she falls asleep, I get her phone. I go in there, hit the like button, let it play, so I get some watches overnight.
There you go.
But I don't think she voluntarily watches. I don't know if anyone else does that. Does anybody else do that? Let your wife watch when they're sleeping?
Okay, so let's go through a few more and then call it a night. But so you want to go first? You want me to?
You go first. We'll swap. We'll alternate.
So Clifford was on my thing. Clifford the big red dog.
Yeah.
This is. I don't remember it. I guess it was a book growing up, and I think they made it into movies. I think it's kind of a well-known one, but I didn't think it was that great. Beethoven was one. Thank you. Hey, I mean, I was taking it on the chin a lot. We'll see what happens. I think Keith went in a different route than I went.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Cujo won you some props at the end there. The dog I chose Rin Tin Tin over wasn't going to win me any more votes either. So I didn't hurt myself with that pick, I don't think.
Yeah,
I think you're getting some love over there, Andy.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Cujo, I was so, part of me was like, oh, I hope some of the time when people have these ideas and stuff, I'm like, God, that's the one I wanted to like just drop on Keith as the last pick and just kind of wipe the floor with him. Cause that's like my favorite thing when we do these draft picks is like, I pull something out or vice versa. Like sometimes he does the same thing, but
yeah.
That's an awesome one too. Like I didn't even think about that one.
I don't even saw what is Duck Hunt?
Duck Hunt's that one is like a Nintendo where you shoot and he just keeps laughing at you because you missed the gun.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right.
But anyway, so Beethoven was on my list. I didn't really ever see that though. I didn't think it. Toto was, I think, well known, but again, like I don't know if he was all that great in it.
Toto didn't do a whole lot, right? I mean, I guess Toto's probably a better pick than Rin Tin Tin, though, because you at least saw Toto. And the witches were trying to steal the dog or whatever, but did they try to? Yeah.
Cerberus, do you know who that is? That's like it's kind of a way blast from the past. It's like a 2 or 3-headed dog. It's like in Greek mythology, for Hades, and I think it's may have even been like a form of it has been in like Harry Potter stuff. Yeah.
The Fluffy was a 3-headed dog, I think, in that movie, right? I think.
Maybe. Yeah.
I had this is another one going back, which is not. He wasn't really a movie character or anything. He was a real life dog. But
did you miss the rain down in Africa? I just wanted to know if he.
Huh?
He's talking about Toto the band.
Okay. What was I saying? Oh yeah. You ever hear this dog, Andy? You ever hear the Hachiko dog?
No.
Hachiko. So it's a pretty cool story. He's an Akita in Japan. I think it was in the 30s or 40s, maybe later. I forget the exact time frame. But it was a college professor owned this dog, and he took him to work, and he left him at the train station. I don't know why he left him at the train station, but he would leave him at the train station, and the dog would wait for him at the train station every day, and he came back, and they would go home. And then one day, the guy went to work. The dog was at the train station. The guy died at work. And the dog sat at that train station for 9 years. People come feed the dog.
And so it's a real dog?
Real dog. It was an Akita. And there's like that dog is like taxidermied in like a museum in Japan, I believe.
That's crazy.
And it's just like about like the most loyal dogs. It's an interesting story of so
not my dog. If I died, he would eat me in his first chance he got.
Which one? Both of them?
No. But here's one. Here's one for you. I don't think I'm going to watch that one.
Is that a movie? Did they make a movie out of it? Hachiko? Or maybe they did.
What about Santa's Little Helper?
I thought about him. He didn't really have a whole lot of a role in that show, though.
He didn't. He was only on. Yeah. He was. But I do like just the name. You could have
stolen from me just because he's a greyhound, and I'm a huge sighthound fan. Yeah, that would have hurt.
There's Doug from Up. I guess I don't think I've ever seen that, but people love that one apparently. And then let's see. There's Goofy was one that we didn't. I'm surprised nobody took Goofy or Pluto for that matter.
Yeah. Here's a good one I don't think it was a real dog or wasn't in any kind of TV shows, but it was another like Spuds MacKenzie style dog for like the 1930s, 1940s, going back again with Nipper, the RCA dog, RCA Victor.
Yeah.
I find as an antique dealer, I've had a lot of statues of Nipper, little Jack Russell, white Jack Russell.
Yeah.
So I think we have a Nipper the dog stuffed animal in the warehouse from that collection.
Okay. Yeah. Odie. Did you say Odie? Somebody said Odie earlier.
I didn't say Odie, no.
And then
Garfield?
Yeah. The last one I had was Ren from Ren and Stimpy.
You see that chat? See that comment by Archie? Roman and I did the Lady and Tramp slurping spaghetti together.
Oh, God.
Those guys are very close. They met up at the reseller rally in Cincinnati, right?
Hey, spaghetti brings people close. I can understand that.
Yeah, hey, they're having a big rally, a reseller rally in Tennessee. I think Crossville, Tennessee. The reseller locker room guys and other people on the 127 yard sale. So we should think about making a trip out there. I'm going to be out there the week before in Cleveland, so it might be hard for me to get more time off of work because I'm off the week before. But for anyone who's into those kind of gatherings, definitely check them out on the reseller locker room.
Very cool.
Yeah. And Dan got the other one on my list too, Air Bud.
Yeah,
I didn't really love that movie back in the day.
Either.
Yeah,
that's the only problem. Most of the ones that I picked, I liked, and either liked the show that they were in or something. But
I'm going to try, Shane. I'm going to try to finagle my schedule around because I know it's like later in the week, right? Friday, Saturday, maybe is the get together. The Slinky Dog from
Toy Story.
Toy Story. I was going to say Home Alone for some reason.
Yeah, I can't remember the name, but yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, that was a big one. That was higher on the list.
Yeah, I didn't have that.
Cool. Huckleberry Hound. Yeah, I forgot. I didn't even think about it. There's so many. And it's kind of what your preference is, but
the last one we didn't name any, which is a great cartoon that my son watched a lot. British cartoon, the namesake of my logo, Kipper the dog. You ever see the Kipper the dog cartoon?
No.
Kipper the dog. It's not a great cartoon actually, but I think it's British. He's a British dog.
There's another British dog one that it's a claymation type of thing, and I can't remember.
Yeah, I can see it.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, Wallace and Gromit.
Is
that
Gromit,
one of those a dog?
Yeah, Gromit was a dog, I think. But I don't think people know a ton of it. It's good. But anyway.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so that was a good draft.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so guys.
I think a lot of people. Yeah, it's fun. There's so many you can choose, so it's like there's so many good ones to do. So
absolutely, for sure.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was really cool to see because you guys. I want to say, I don't know. You had probably 10 or 15 that I didn't even think about that were all really good.
Oh yeah, I'm disappointed that I didn't think of Cujo.
Yeah,
I was thinking more positive stories, right? Like uplifting.
I swear to you, I told a couple people, I was like, Cujo is going to be my closer because I don't think Keith would remember that at all. And then, part of me was like, part of me thinks we should like have our picks already down on paper or something like that, so you can't alter them. So then,
I sort of do.
Yeah, but I mean,
just had a nice Pennant sale, Andy.
Okay.
Trying to save it for you. A little. Can you see my screen there? A little Oregon travel pennant. Oregon,
What was that?
Oregon, Illinois.
$99.99?
What is it? Oregon, Illinois. I never even heard of an Oregon, Illinois. $99.99.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, so that's the episode for this week. So next week we're gonna do same time, same place, 8 p.m. We're gonna draft our all-time MLB teams. Like we're gonna draft 1 to 9 on the draft a first baseman, a catcher. Should be a fun one. And then
be ready for a lot of 1910 players coming from Keith.
You know what? I love history, so I do go back with some of my picks. Andy mocks me for it, but you can't forget the past, Andy.
Oh, sure.
And we have giveaways in the first sales of the week segment every week. So definitely, guys, come back for the giveaway. Brandon this week won a great 1914 B18 baseball tobacco felt. It's basically a tobacco card from the teens. So cool giveaway there for Brandon.
Yeah, next then 2 weeks, couple weeks.
Pete Rose
from
is
now.
eligible. Pete Rose is definitely eligible. Yeah, yeah.
A couple of weeks from now will be a couple special guests.
Yeah, so March 6th, Dan and Demand's going to be drafting. We're going to draft the best ever comedy movies. And the week after that, on the 13th, Go Snow is going to be on the channel drafting the best horror movies. So that's going to be a fun couple episodes as well. So definitely, guys, hope to see you next week, 8 o'clock. And have a great week.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.